Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I like to do is I want to talk a little bit more about the gunman on the rooftop of the county records building and the JFK assassination, plus give a little bit more insight on how I came up with more answers and stuff like that when it came to this gunman here and his location. As I point out in my other videos, I always said, you know, this evidence has always been in front of the public's eye for past 54 years, but always gets me confused sometimes when I look over this information and wondering why no one has ever actually found this information. Just like the gunman in the Zapruder film. Zapruder film shows us a gunman on the top of the records building, on the rooftop of the county records building, showing us he's coming down, taking aim, and firing a shot. As you see right here, if you watch my cursor, this is where we can see the gunman right along the sprocket hole area. Now, again, people's claim that they analyze this film time and time again. They view this film hundreds of times and stuff. But that's why I say when I start doing research on this case and when I found this, it's like they claim they've viewed this film quite a few times, but they didn't find this gunman or even found the shots that I found in this film as well, because the Zapruder film holds a lot of information in it. And when you claim that you're viewing this film and you analyze this film and you've seen this film 100 times or 1,000 times, okay, but when you see this kind of information from somebody else, which I'll say I'm somebody else right at this point, finding this information and the researchers didn't see none of this, of all the times they claim they, analyze this film stuff, because as you see here, in the sprocket hole area, we can see the gunman on top, the reflection of the gunman on top of the county records building. He comes down, takes a shot. Now, a lot of researchers do agree with me on this one here, because there's a lot more evidence to prove that there was a gunman on the rooftop of the county records building. We can see it in the Zapruder film, and we can also see shots, as I'm going to show you here. Now, in the Zapruder film also, we can see shots making contact with the surroundings. Now remember, it's not no more of shooting JFK or Governor Connally, because they already been shot and everything else. These are distraction shots, and I'm also going to explain why I call these distraction shots. As you see here, here's frame 399. A bullet strikes the side of the concrete of the manhole cover. In frame 401, another bullet strikes the top corner of the concrete of the manhole cover. Then we have frame 402, which shows a bullet ricocheting upward. Then we have frame 313, which shows a shot that struck inside the grass here, as you see right here. And then in frame 414, another shot strikes the grass right here. Now, the one shot we can't see in the film is a shot to the curb where James Tague was standing, but we know that shot occurred. And by angling that shot, and just like the shots to the manhole cover, when we look at the shots to the manhole cover, we can see by the angles and stuff that these shots line right back up to the rooftop of the county records building. Same thing as the grass shots as well. They line right back up to the rooftop of the county records building. And even the curb shot, by the angle of this shot right here, where it struck the curb, okay, where James Tague was standing, even that angle lines right back up to the rooftop of the county records building. Now, in 1975, a maintenance worker, was working on a rooftop of the county records building. His name was Morgan. Mr. Morgan found a spent bullet casing, a 30.06 bullet casing, under the tar of the roof. Okay, that was in 1975 when he found that bullet casing. Now, when I sit there and I go over this story and stuff, and I go over the location where he found his bullet casing, it lines up to where the gunman we see in the Zapruder film. And it also lines up to where these shots line up to as well. But there's something else I want to show people is, let me see. this right here, which is an eyewitness account. Okay, I forgot her name. I don't have it in my notes right now because I'm trying to put this together real quick. Here's an eyewitness. Okay, there's recordings of her in her interview where she stated that a bullet struck the concrete of the manhole cover. And also the officer verified as well. But then later on, after they talked to her and everything else, it was a piece of bone fragment from JFK's skull that struck that corner of, the side of the curb of the manhole cover. Okay, the concrete there. They tried to change the story. First, they're telling her it was a shot because she said it was a shot that struck the manhole cover. But then they turned around and said no, it was a bone fragment because they said the bullet was actually still on the ground. After the assassination, the bullet was still on the ground and they didn't dig it out yet. Who knows, it might even still be there today if they ever got it out. But we can see a bullet in images that were taken that day, which is, I'm going to show this one right here. As you see in my research and my other videos and stuff, here's a Secret Service agent bending down. He's getting ready to pick up a bullet that's lying in the grass. And here is a close-up of him. This is his hand, and here's the bullet lying in the grass area right here. And as you see here, this bullet here. This bullet is a 30.06 bullet. Now, at this point, we found a bullet right next to the manhole cover, which we can see in the Zapruder film. It's striking and ricocheting off of there. It's lying in the grass, the bullet is, which is a 30.06 bullet. In 1975, a maintenance worker, Morgan, found a bullet casing, 30.06 bullet casing, on the rooftop of the county records building. So see, everything is lining up when you start piecing this information together. And then we also have our images taken that day of people looking at the manhole cover and shots. You can see right here, and in this image right here, we can see the manhole cover. Police officers trying to figure out where these shots came from. All right, and got this guy right here. That's a secret. So that's another view of it. This is taken after he picked up the bullet casing. He picked up the bullet from the grass area. This is taken again because I guess he was just trying to smooth out the grass area there where he picked up that bullet casing. A bullet, excuse me. So what I want to do here is I want to show you something. Okay, now we have the gunman's location right here because we can tell this by the Zapruder film of the gunman's location plus where the bullet casing was found. And then we have the two shots of manhole cover, which is right here. We have the two shots to the grass area, which can be seen in the Zapruder film as well. And then we got the curb shot where James Tagg was standing. Now, we're going to line that up and see what happens. When you take a line, a straight line, and you line it up, you will see that the manhole cover, the grass area, and the curb shot was all in the same line of fire. And all these shots lined back up to the rooftop of the county records building. Same location where we see the gunman in this Zapruder film, plus the bullet casing that was found there. The bullet casing was found there, and the bullet was found right here from that bullet casing. Found right here in the grass area, if you watch my cursor. Okay, I was found right in this area right here, which was a 30.06, same as the bullet casing was up there, 30.06. Now, as you see here, we have the gunman's location, two shots to the manhole cover, two shots to the grass area, and then one shot to the curb where James Tagg was standing. Now we line this back up. Okay, and as you see right here, we have the gunman's location by the Zapruder film right here, as we can see. We also have the bullet casing that was found right here by Mr. Morgan in 1975 as he was working on the rooftop of the county records building. We have the Zapruder film that shows two bullets striking this manhole cover, concrete manhole cover. We also have the Zapruder film that shows the two shots to the grass area here. And we all know about the curb shot where James Tagg was standing. As you see, these shots line up in the same line of fire. But also today, 54 years later, we can still see both bullet holes in that concrete of the manhole cover. One right here, one right here. This shot right here, if you watch my cursor, this shot right here is this one right here. This shot right here is right here. And like I pointed out, both of these shots line right back to the rooftop of the county records building. So see, there's a lot of information there. Now, what I want to do is I want to pull this up. Okay, which now let me go ahead and pull this one up and I'll show you. As you see here, we'll pull this one up as well. Let's let this come back up and then we'll pull this up. Okay, by finding these shots and finding the true location of the gunman, as you see here, gunman's location, 2 shots fired here, 2 shots fired here, 2 shots fired here. When we found a location and when we find these sites where the bullets can make contact with, it helps us out by getting the distance. Like this will be shot number, when we number them by the shots, we could tell the distance between the shots. Like from here to the curb shot, okay, that'd be shot number 7. It'd be 559.74 feet or 186.58 yards from this point here to this point here. That's why this is how I get more information. Now, a lot of researchers, when you pinpoint a location of a gunman and you pinpoint the location of where the shots occurred or where they made contact with, we can get a distance now, which also gives us more information. So now we know how far that gunman was when he took the shots. Just like when we look at, let's look at the manhole cover shot, which would be shot number 8 and shot number 9. Okay, which is shot number 8, which is the side of the manhole cover. It was 374.21 feet or 124.94 yards. That's from this distance to this side of the concrete and manhole cover. Then when we go to the top corner of the concrete and manhole cover was 379.8 feet or 126.36 yards. Just like the grass area will be shot number 11 and 12, which is this section right here. All right, was 416.94 feet or 138.98 yards, or 417 feet or 0.58 feet, excuse me, 417.58 feet or 139.19 yards. Okay, which is they're really very close together. But like I said, now we have the location of the gunman by photographic evidence and other evidence as well. We have, let me pull this up right here. Let me shrink this one. Pull this one up. Put this over here. Put this one up. Oops. Let's put this one here. So my mouse pad keeps on moving around on me right along with my mouse. So it's kind of makes it a little bit hard trying to get all this stuff together. Let me pull this one up as well so you can see. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. We're going now. By finding this kind of evidence out, now this is how we pull more information by what we find in the films and images and stuff. Like we know the location, as you watch my cursor, we know the location of the gunman by the Zapruder film and a bullet casing found here, which we see right here, bullet casing and the gunman. We know the shots and the locations where these shots came from. We know these shots are in the same line of fire. So by putting this evidence back into place, the gunman back in his location, the bullet casing back in its location, the location of where these shots made contact with, gives us information now because now we know we can find a distance. As you see right here, we can find a distance. Not only we can find a distance, but we can also pull this up as well, which is another thing we can pull and get more information from. Pull this one up, pull this one up, pull this one up. Now, not only we can get a distance now, but when we go by the time frames when we view the Zapruder film starting with frame 133, now we can get a time zone and a timeline exactly when these shots occur, as we see in the film. Like shot number 7, which would be the curb shot, was taken at 20.88 seconds from time we see JFK's limo in the Zapruder film. The shots number 8 and 9 was at 20.99 seconds or 21.01 second. shots 11 and 12, which is 21.87 seconds and 21.88 seconds. Now we got the distance now by placing the evidence back in place, by viewing this Zapruder film, marking down exact locations of where these bullets made contact in time frame. So now we have a distance, we have a time frame, but we get more from this time frame. Now, when we take this time frame and we look at this, as you see right here, we can see how much time was in between each shots. Just like right here, between shots number 8 and 9 was 0.02 of a second, which shows that this gunman, because this gives us information now, this gunman has an automatic rifle, not a bolt action rifle, an automatic rifle, because he fired one shot right after the other, because he only has 0.02 seconds to fire in between the two shots, which is shot number 8 and shot number 9. Both these come from the same location and same gunman. So see, now we know that this gunman had an automatic rifle. So you see, when I talk about this, and when I point out these facts and I point out this information, a lot of things can be figured out on paper or when you analyze films and stuff, because once we get the films and the images and we find the gunman's location, okay, we find the gunman's location, we find more evidence compelled on top of that of the gunman's location, we can see him in that location, we see the shots that he takes, we line these shots back up and we find out that these shots here, lines right back to the rooftop of the county records building. So we know this gunman here took 2 shots here, 2 shots here, and 1 shot to the curb. Now, more information we get, because like I said, once we put these information back in the locations on maps and stuff, then we get a true distance of how far he was when he took those shots. And then we go to the time frame when we view the Zapruder film. We start at frame 133 and we start marking down when these shots occurred, and we got a time frame now, as I pointed out. And then we excuse me, let me take a drink. Then we take this time frame, then we take this time frame and we look in between both of the shots, like the manhole cover shots. We see that he had 0.02 seconds between both of them shots. Both shots came from the same gunman, from the same location. So now we know he has an automatic rifle. So see, this information helps us longer, because now we know a lot more information now by just watching. First off, starts off with the Zapruder film. Zapruder film gives us the gunman's location, shows us the shots that he takes. We map it out, and also gives us a time frame, as you see here. Gives us time frame of when these shots occurred. And then we get that information. Then we place everything back. Now we have distance and we have locations of where the shots made contact with in the gunman's location. Now we can get a distance chart on that. So now we got more information there. And then we mark down the time frames, as you see here. And now we know there's more information on. Now we know that gunman had an automatic rifle. So we know the bullets that he was using was a 30.06 by the bullet casing that's found and by the bullet that was found in the grass area. We know that's the type of bullet he was using. We also know that he was using an automatic rifle because we had 1 shot taken right after the other, as you see right here by the time frames. So see, this is why a lot of information that I find and I have is by basing it on what we see first, which is the evidence. The evidence shows us this. Okay, we see in the film the gunman's location, a bullet casing found in that same location. The manhole cover shots lines up to the rooftop of the county records building. The shots in the grass area lines up to the rooftop of the county records building. And the shot to the curb lines back up to the rooftop of the county records building. We can see the shots making contact. We see the gunman taking his shots. We know the shot came from here. Bullet casing, 30.06. Bullet found in the grass area, 30.06. Plus, we know this is all in the same line of fire, as you see right here. Gunman's location, shot location, shot location, shot location. And as you see when you draw that straight line, it all is in the same line of fire. Now, again, as I point out, there's a lot of information we can pull out from photographic evidence that No one never knew all this time. 54 years went by, and it only starts off with one image. Zapruder film. One film, that's where it starts. And then you start finding all the other evidence right along with it. Just like the bullet holes and the concrete manhole cover. Both bullet holes still can be seen today, as you see right here. Here's an image taken in 2013. Bullet hole here, bullet hole here. They're both still can be seen today. All you have to do is just go there, see the bullet holes, touch it, you can feel it. So now, not only you can have evidence that you can see, you have your eyewitness accounts, which I showed you that one lady, and where we have physical evidence too, which we can touch. All this information has been in front of public eye for 54 years. It's just you have to piece it together, just like the manhole cover shot and the curve shot. If we just eliminate just the two shots, like shot number 11 and 12, okay, we'll just eliminate them two. If they'd done a proper investigation at the time. Manhole cover shots, curve shot. We'll go with 3 shots here. They will still be in that same line of fire, okay? But they never pay attention. As you see, the officer, right here, he's trying to figure out, well, the shots came from over here. He's trying to point to the school book depository is where he's trying to point where the shots came from. But they actually came from the rooftop of the county records building because the evidence shows us this. And by lining up these shots, we can see them shots line right back up to the rooftop of the county records building. But he's trying to figure out where the shots come from the Texas School Book Depository. Excuse me. Like I said, there's a lot of information, a lot of evidence. Once you start putting this evidence together and you start piecing together, you pull more information out. Like I said, you get the distance now. Now we have the distance, something we didn't have 54 years ago. We have the true locations of the gunmen. We know the shots they took. We know the time frame of those shots when they made contact. We know the distance the gunmen were when they made their shots to JFK, Governor Connally, and to the surroundings. Okay, we know all this information now. It's always been in the public's eye, like I've been saying for years now. It's always been in front of public's eye, but no one's never took the time to piece all this together. And instead of just pushing images and pushing films to the side, they have a story to tell us too. But these films and images can give us more information because all this information I present in my books, in my videos, and stuff on the JFK assassination is from films. And as I point out in here, this is how I figure things out. You place the images back into their location where they was taken at that time. You draw the distance. Now you can get a distance from where the gunman was to where these shots made contact. Watch when you view the Zapruder film, when you mark down time frames of when these shots made contact with the manhole cover, the concrete manhole cover, the curb shot, and the shots to the grass area. You mark that down in their time frames on when each frame is shown like that. And then you have more information because then you know exactly, you got your time frames, you got your distance now, and then when you go for your time frames, you look at the time frame in between the two shots, then it gives you more information because now we know the gunman had an automatic rifle that day when he was taking his shots. Like I said, more information can be pulled as you view films, as you view images. You start piecing them together, placing things back to where they belong, following steps like that, just like even eyewitness accounts like this lady right here. She's saying that the shots hit the concrete of manhole cover. Okay, they have images of manhole cover, which we know 2 shots occurred there. Right there, there's the evidence. There's the so-called magic bullet, or the magic bullet people want to talk about. That one piece of evidence that people have been looking for years to prove a case of a conspiracy, okay, was in the public's eye, and people's been stepping over it and walking past it every day. They just didn't know it. There's the evidence right there. This concrete of the manhole cover has 2 bullet holes. We could tell these are bullet holes because we could see it in the Zapruder film. We see the gunman taking his shots. We've seen a bullet retrieve from there, and there was a bullet retrieve from here and a bullet retrieve from over here, which I'll show you with my cursor. Bullet retrieve from over here, a bullet retrieved from over here. They had to dig this bullet out. So you see, the evidence has always been there, in plain sight, in plain view. No one ever bothered looking for it. That's the end of this video here, because I'm going to make some more videos here coming soon. Don't forget that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Share this information with others on social medias and everything else. Let them know this information. Thank you, and you have a pleasant day.